Hi viewers, I welcome you all for this video lecture series on RESTful APIs and introduction. In this video, we'll discuss what is REST API, what is API, and introduction about what is RESTful API. Before that, I introduce myself. I'm Shankar. I'm working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Let's go to the video, and today content is RESTful API and introduction. Before that, let's discuss what is API. API is a application programming interface, and it's a gateway that grants access to an application's features and data. Further, API creation is one of the backend developer pillars. So, if you create an app and make it accessible to third-party apps, you will need to create an application programming interface. Let's have a simple example. If you want to make things easier, let's explain API in simple terms. You are in a restaurant, you can't walk into the kitchen and start cooking yourself. Most likely, you place your order via a server who deliver it to the kitchen staff to prepare it. In this scenario, the kitchen staff is the backend, the menu is the database, and the waiter is the API. You choose from the menu, and the waiter sends the information to the kitchen, which means that in this example, the menu will act as like a database, and waiter will act as an API, and the kitchen will be a backend. So the kitchen will prepare a meal, and before reaching your hands, it will go through the waiter again in some. An API is a rule set specifying backend interactions. APIs allow selecting specific input from data and receiving a final user focused answer. Let's see next application programming interface. It is a structured set of protocols and tools designed for building software applications. An API facilitate the dialogue between different software entities, allowing for integration of disparate application, access to the functionalities, data, or service from other platforms, exposing your application functionality for external utilization. And next, we'll see what is REST API. REST means representational state transfer. So the REST delineates a software architectural style centered on a specific set of principles for web services. An API conforming to the REST standards is termed as RESTful API. So it has some key attributes. It includes utilization of HTTP request for data interactions like get, post, put, and delete. And next, stateless operations where each request is self-sufficient, encapsulating all required data. Next, favorable data attributes such as simplicity, flexibility, and scalability make them a popular choice in modern web services. Next, let's discuss some benefits using APIs. They have noted here interoperability, modularity, and reusability, and finally, rapid development. First, let's see what is interoperability. API allows for seamless integration between systems, irrespective of their underlying technologies of platforms. And next, modularity and reusability. It used by breaking down functionalities into APIs, developers can reuse them across multiple projects without redundancy. And then finally, rapid development. An APIs can speed up the software development process as developers can leverage existing functionalities instead of building everything from the scratch. Next, let's see few advantages for REST APIs over other APIs. Stateless natures, scalability, language and platform independence, and finally intuitive design. First, stateless nature. This ensures that each request from a client to a server contains all the information needed to understand and process the request. And next, scalability. So RESTful APIs can handle a large number of requests, making them ideal for public-facing web services. And next, language and platform independence. As long as the platform supports HTTP, it can use RESTful APIs. And finally, intuitive design. The use of standard HTTP methods like get, post, put, and delete, it makes easy for developers to understand and reuse. Next, what are API responses? Once you make a request, you will get a response from the server. A vital concept surrounding the request response is in the form of status code. This status code is actually in the form of three-digit numbers, let you know if the request was a success or a failure. The number can also tell if the error lies on the server, the site, or you. Next, we have listed some set of principles for REST APIs. They are client-server model, statelessness, layered systems, uniform interface, catchable resources, code on demand. Client-server model, the client and server are two separate things. Here, the API act as connector between them. In turn, the server manages the information while the client provides input to get an output. Next, statelessness. REST API must be able to process requests without relying upon other tools. Every submission needs to contain all the required information to process. Next, layered system. APIs have a layered system, hence client don't know how the server structure works. This feature enhances the server's dynamism. And next, uniform interface. API provides uniform interface regardless of backend. In turn, client can interact with them as needed. Each resource in the API should have a unique uniform resource identifier. And next, catchable resources. All resources returned by an API should be catchable. It ensures local saving on client's side instead of server requirements. And finally, catch on demand. REST APIs may include executable code such as JavaScript as part of request response, while optional in this code gives users more flexibility and customization. Next, we'll have a small comparison with REST versus SOAP API protocols. Simple Object Protocol, SOAP, it's a much older service than the rest. To sum it up, SOAP ensures data exchange among platforms or diverse languages. Let's see how does it compare to the REST. First one is usability. REST is more straightforward and accessible than SOAP and requires less coding. Besides, REST way of sending data is more readable as it uses XML or JSON. And second one, security. Contrawise, SOAP has better security feature than REST. SOAP provides digital signature for message integrity checks. It also offers WSS standards for message level signature and encryption support. Last, it delivers SAML support, federated identity management. The next one is scalability. RESTful API's popularity relies on their simplicity and statelessness. These traits make it easier to scale APIs as the number of users and requests increases. Plus, RESTful increases traffic by adding more servers to the system. Thank you all for watching this lecture series. Thank you once again.